Alright, you guys, so I'm going to show y'all the update. The Eminence Beta 8s are in. Got the ASD 1000s in there, 1001s. Um, so far, they do sound a lot better, especially the compression drivers. Sound a lot cleaner than the stock ones that was in there. So this is where the stock compression drivers are that used to be in those. And then the 8-inch woofers, so the Soundtown drivers, those are in those boxes. And then one thing I'm kind of pissed off about, I thought I would hear a big difference between the new Eminence 314 compression drivers versus the BNC copies that were over here. My difference that I'm hearing between the two is none. Besides, those actually play deeper than the Eminence do. But I'm not really worried about that. Also, I don't know if you guys can actually see it. The Eminence Kappa Pro LF2s are in. So my Kappa 15 LFAs are in those boxes. So what I'm gonna do is next week, no, actually the week after, we're going to place an order for 3 more of these 15s. The second LaVoce 18-inch subwoofer is sitting over there. Like I told you guys, left subwoofer, center subwoofer, and the right channel sitting right here. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not happy with the sound right now at all. That's just because I don't know a good crossover point between the 15-inch woofer and these compression drivers, and also the 15 FLAs gave me just a bit more mid-range, but I'm not too worried about that right now because I'm looking at either getting some PRV passive 3-way crossovers or doing some active crossovers, which I always like to do active. So I'll be doing 2 DBX PA2 drive rack systems, and for the mids, I think I'm going ahead and do like a single 10-inch, kind of digging the Capra 10s. So it'll be 2 15s, the Kappa 10, like it should be, and the Eminence 314s. So far, I love how the way these look. I like the fact that these are designed a lot better. Let me just show you guys. And when you're dealing with neodymium drivers, just be careful because they will snap your fucking fingers off, I'm telling you. It's not fun and games until you're in the hospital, because your finger got squished by 2 of these magnets. So guys, if I were to do it again between the Eminence and these Lace N75s, I'd stick with the Lace over the Eminence, just because you're not getting that much of a difference in the sound, other than, like I say, a better build quality. And these are pretty much an exact copy of BNC. So I would say, I guess maybe, hey, they got it right in China, because these things sound fantastic. And yes, I would buy these things over again. I mean, come on, man, they're only 90 bucks or 100. So these terminals right here, these things are prone to snapping if you don't take care of these things. I mean, they're very, very easy to snap. The Eminence, definitely say they got just a bit more support. I did watch a movie in here earlier today, and I kept turning around and scrolling around my Behringer to try to see if I can do something to make me happy with the sound. So far, I'm not going to be, and that's kind of what it comes to whenever you're buying new speakers. Could be also due to the fact too that they're not really broken in, but now some people are saying that breaking drivers in is a myth. So I don't know what to believe, but I do know for sure I will be doing three-way speakers somewhere in the near future, and these boxes are going to be going away, or we might end up moving them into the living room and setting up like another system in there and just going ahead and pull the Behringer out, move that into the living room as well. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, or just sell them. Load the Kappas back in here and sell them. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm definitely sold on the Kappa 15s that are in here, because I like the fact that I can just turn the QSCs on without the Behringer subwoofers, and they'll still give me a little bit of bass. Obviously, it's not going to be comparable with the LaVoces we put out, but once I turn this into a three-way system, should be a lot better. So I don't know if I'm going to get rid of the QSCs or keep them. So right now I'm kind of up in the air about that, because what I want to do is kind of minimize as much stuff that's plugged in, because you can do a three-way setup on here, but it only work for just 2-channel. So I'd have to get a second Behringer, which I'm not going to do with Behringer again, because I can't even get this damn thing online. It has Ethernet cables, but what's stupid is you have to run it from, at least from what I'm understanding from what the manual's saying anyways, you run the RJ45 from the back of the Behringer into the PC. Pretty fucking stupid design. So I'm going to rip this thing out, and I'm just going to go with a pair of drive racks. And I love QSC amps, but they're 4-channel amps. I might end up getting them, I don't know, but I think I'm just going to go with the Behringers for right now. So I have to take these 2 out. No, in fact, these 3, and do 3 4-channel amps. And then what's going to happen is I'm either going to use the other 3 channels for tactile drivers. I should probably do that, or just bridge it to run the left, center, and right low frequency channels. And again, you know, having that kind of power would be nice, because I won't have to always worry about, you know, reaching back here and turning these on. But I like the look of the Behringers, even though, again, yes, I am a QSC guy. I'm gonna have to order these Behringer amplifiers then to see if I'm gonna like them, and see if I can hear a noticeable difference between these and my QSC amps. The other thought was order another 8-channel amplifier. So what I would do is I would bridge these amplifiers here, my CX302s, and have those bridged into each of the woofer channels for the left, center, and right, and do 3 channels of mids, 3 channels of highs, and the other 2 would be tactile tactile drivers. So again, just I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Just too many options right now. That's the problem. But something else I kind of want to do is possibly pull out one of the LF2 drivers and compare them to the FLAs. And I already know that the LF2s are going to have more bass. I just don't know how much. Because again, that's $600 down the drain from the Eminence compression drivers. If I was able to send them back, honestly, I think I would. You know, that's extra money saved. I can put that towards the 10-inch drivers. But at the same time, fuck it. can't send them back because once you open up the boxes, they said that you can't return them. So I'm not mad about that at all. Again, I still wanted to buy them just because, shit, they're an American company and they're made right here in America. So, fuck it, I'm happy with that. The biggest two differences, again, the lace compression drivers, they play down quite a bit deeper. The eminences, they really do stop like around 800 hertz. Anything after that drops out. So I just, after watching Midway earlier today, they definitely don't do a good two-way design. At least those woofers behind the screen, I don't think that they're suitable for two-way setup. I think the Kappa 15 FLAs, those are much better at doing it. Even though that these show that they're good at like 1500 hertz, and then anything after 1500 hertz, they drop out. So that I can definitely hear. But the Beta 8s, those are some pretty nice woofers. I like how the way they look in here versus the stock drivers. Now these, the ASD 1001s, I gotta say, definitely a lot smoother than the stock ones. They tend to get a little bit harsh. I can't really tell you guys around what frequency. I don't know if it's peaking or it's just the fact that they just sound kind of rough. One thing I'm gonna have to get in here for sure is either a UMIC 1. I'm actually gonna get one of those regardless. Either that or going ahead and order the microphone for the DBX drive rack. So I think I'm pretty much sold on that. I'm gonna have to talk to Eminence, and that's like another reason why I wanted to upgrade these drivers and just do all Eminence, because me doing like what I'm doing, let's just say I'm already talking about doing dual 15s. And how the way I've got these, I can call them up and just say, hey, I got the 314s and, a pair of the Kappa Pro LF2s, what the hell should I do about a crossover point? They can walk me through it. It's their products. But I definitely do see this Behringer getting ripped out of this rack here in the near future. And another reason why I wanted to order the drive racks is because they have RTA, real-time alignment, right on it. And all I have to do is just plug the microphone right into it, set the crossover points on the drive rack first, and then go on ahead and get my microphone stand and place the microphone at least 3 feet away from that screen, just so that way it can pick up the mids, the highs, and the woofer. Hopefully it should blend in all together at that point, at least at the 3 foot mark, and calibrate it from there, and then we'll figure it out. So again, honestly, just getting started with this stuff. The Onkyo just does not like those speakers behind the screen. How the way I had it set up and EQ'd, honestly, I did it by ear. That's not the way that you want to do it. You still want to have your microphone so you calibrate your speakers properly. Should be flat to the bone. And I think that was actually one of the reasons why I did pick up the Behringer, is because the UMIC, with the UMIC 1, you can use Room EQ Wizard, and they actually have the DCX 2496 on the list. So that way when you calibrate your speakers, you can just upload whatever the file shows. But honestly, I think I'd rather go with something that's all built in. And try to make it a lot easier. But I'm still gonna get the UMIC 1 regardless. It doesn't matter, because later on down the road, God forbid, if I just want to calibrate these and get like another 4-channel amplifier. Do like a pair of 4-channel amplifiers for my Dolby speakers and these here, and I just want to calibrate them completely flat, and then from there run the Onkyo's calibration system. I can do it. I want a lot of options, and just unfortunately I got to find the time for it all, because I don't know when the hell we're going back to Disney. A lot of people think that it's happening in June, so we'll have to see. Something else I was thinking about was pulling the drivers out for my Carmi speakers, like the stock ones that was up here, and buy like some car subwoofer boxes, like some sealed ones, some 8-inch boxes. And I know you shouldn't do it, but I mean, it's just for Atmos, so I don't really care about that. That's not really that big of a deal. Just take those out and put them up in the ceiling, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think my options are still kind of just up in the air right now on what the hell I'm going to do. So far as I know, that a lot of these speakers that I have over here, like the 7 compression drivers and the 7 woofers, those are still up for sale. So I got to get the listing going for those, so the way I can get those out of the house. Too many choices. But guys, I really do want Dolby Atmos in this room. So I know when I watched Midway earlier, it already had the Dolby Atmos video playing for it, the intro. So I'm missing a lot. But eventually, as I said before, I do want to move the Onkyo into the living room, and just get like a real 11.2 processor itself without the onboard amplifiers, because I know it's going to give me cleaner sound. Anthem, the AVM60, that was the one that I was going to buy and put in here, but from what I'm understanding, Shane from Spare Change, he was talking about, I guess they're getting rid of the AVM60 and they're getting a new processor. Well, shit, if that's the case, then I might hold off. But so far, I think the AVM60, even though, yeah, I do know that it's a couple years old, it would still serve this theater pretty damn well. And they have Anthem room correction, which is far beyond what the hell Onkyo's on. I still wouldn't mind the AVM60. I know that it has 2 subwoofer outputs and that they're paralleled. That doesn't matter because the subwoofer amplifier down there, it's a digital amplifier. So if I need to do any type of time alignment or anything like that, delay, EQing, any of that stuff can be done on board the amplifier. So that's not really a worry of mine. The Behringer, as far as an amplifier runs, I'm not going to get rid of it because this damn thing sounds amazing on the La Voce subwoofers. I mean, it runs them just fine. This was another must. I did want to see the power that these amplifiers were drawing. The projector's plugged into the front right there because the cable that they send out is not super long. And that's the model right there of this. In case you guys are wanting to get one of these, it's a power conditioner. And if you want to just push the lights in, you can do that. You can move the lights around in case you want to get lights somewhere else. Other than that, I leave them out. And they're also dimmable. But I've not noticed the LCD on this thing to be a nuisance. I've not noticed the lights to be a nuisance. I did notice earlier today that all I had to do was just reach back here and just do this. And I was still watching my movie. So those lights are definitely a huge help because I can turn around, see what I'm doing. But if electronics in the future, at least for home cinema, are gonna keep coming out, you know, they're gonna do shit like this. The least that these companies can do, guys, is do like what they do for car stereos and just make all of these backlit. The same thing with the remotes. I mean, a lot of the stuff really should be backlit because they know that guys like us are going to buy equipment like this. We're going to put it off in a rack and it's going to be sitting inside of a dark room. I really would love to move this rack eventually off into that closet. I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon, though, because I have to rerun speaker wire, just too much of a pain in the ass. Plus, I like it sitting back here because it's easy to get to. It's right behind the couch. What I probably should end up doing, I'm probably going to wait until I get the new rack in. Looking at getting an 8-foot tall rack in here. So what the plan is going to be is eventually I'm going to have this reversed, and I'm probably going to move this couch a little bit further away from the wall, just so the way it's easy to walk back here. I don't have to just sit here on the couch and, put movies in the Blu-ray player. For right now, the LG sitting in here. I don't have enough space on this rack. This rack is it's not tall enough. I'm literally outgrowing this rack, just with all the shit that's coming in the near future. So maybe next month we might end up doing the second 15s, the 10-inch drivers, and the DBX drive racks. And also I need to get with my guy because I talked to him earlier. I showed him the M&H driver since that's what I'm doing for my dual 15s. And he's already in the works of getting everything up on the drawing board on building the enclosures and, trying to get back to me with the price and make sure that everything's going to be right. So, hey, again, guys, this is all just for fun. So far, I've always planned on having a 3-way system. I never did think that I would get rid of my PRVs. So I'm going to get the Kappa 10s. And if I'm not happy with those, I'm going back to PRV. I had the 1003s. And I didn't think I was going to get rid of them, but I did. I actually traded them for the single 15-inch cabinets behind the screen. Those came from the same guy, my guy Anthony. He actually has his own shop, so he was able to make those enclosures for me. I would do it, but I'm pretty shit at making speaker boxes. It's just not my cup of tea. No matter how hard I try, they're gonna come out looking like shit. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just copying off what QSC does for their cinema speakers because JBL, yeah, they've been my biggest inspiration, but to me, they don't make that great a speaker anymore. So I like what QSC does, the single 3-inch compression driver with the 10-inch horn and the dual 15s. Also, Eminence and Klipsch use these exact same 15s that I use behind that screen. So I know without a doubt that I'm going to be happy with them. And I wouldn't be surprised that the movie theater across the street from us has those. I think IMAX uses those same 15s, but I think now they might be using B&C because they redesigned their speakers again. So who knows, guys, but I'm not worried about IMAX. I'm worried about what's happening right here in this room. The 18s tear this room the fuck apart. I had to turn them down. Actually, the Onkyo stopped measuring those subwoofers high because when it was just the one, for some reason it would put my screen channels at like -5, and the subwoofer would sit at like 12 dB, like just completely maxed out on the gain, and it was just too damn high, even with that one sub. But I knew that having that second subwoofer in here would help this room out big time because no matter where I'm at in this room, pretty much the bass sounds even. That right there is perfect. Another thing that we're gonna have to work on is room acoustics. That's all that shit's gonna happen in time. I'm not worried about rushing that right now. And the ceiling, I might do this stuff here. Put some more of this um, fleece up because it kind of does. It really did help out big time because I'm hearing just a little bit of echo, but not nearly as much as it was. So we're gonna go on ahead and get that side fleeced up. And I'm gonna add a little bit of fleece on the side of the screen just so that way it helps out. I even thought about moving the screen a little bit over to the right and then adding a little bit of fleece on the left and right side of it, or just leave it alone because it's fine the way that it is. Again, it's just having fun in this room and, being able to come in here and enjoy it. Again, I'm not really liking too much what I'm hearing behind that screen right now with those speakers. And it's coming from the Behringer, and really, you can't do shit like this by ear. You need to have a measurement microphone because you will never, ever, ever tune your speakers properly. Your ears are not going to tell you what a machine will. A machine will never lie. It'll always get it right. And then from there, if you want to tune it by ear, make certain adjustments, go for it. But you never want to overwork your speakers. You have to have that microphone. And, what I'm doing by ear sounds like shit. I cannot get this shit straight. For the life of me, I can't. So we're either going to go with PRV for the mid-ranges, or we're going to go with Eminence. So far, I'm pretty sold on Eminence. I'm trying to see if I can snatch up a video on YouTube of somebody trying to compare the Eminence Kappa 10. I'm strictly looking at that, not the Delta 10. That's something I would use in my surround speakers, in case if I want to get rid of these and go with a 10-inch woofer. And I would do a 1.75-inch compression driver. I would leave that shit alone. So far, I think I'm pretty much sold on that driver. It's 97 dB, but however, I did find one from one from PRV. That one's rated at 101 dB. That would pretty much match pretty damn well between having to catch up with a pair of 15s. I believe those are measured at either 97 or 98 dB. The Kappa 15 LFA drivers that I had, those were measured at I think 99 dB. But anyway, I shouldn't have to really worry about that too much, especially if I end up doing the the drive rack system. That's nothing that should have to be worried about at all. But still, I don't want to get a fucking mid-range that's 91 dB and have to put a shitload of gain to it. I'm not going to do that. I was also looking at some 8-inch drivers, but I think, with QSC using those, even though I may not buy those horns, what I will end up doing is, like I said before, just buying what I did with the PRVs, buy a small little sealed 10-inch cabinet, and load those in there. Just buy 3 of those cabs, 3 of those 10-inch drivers, stick them behind the screen, and then go about it from there. And I guess I can do it from Sweetwater because American Musical Supply, they don't sell that little Behringer amplifier anymore. And why they don't do it, I have no idea. I'm not worried about that. That's no big deal. It's 75 watts at 8 ohms. That's more than enough for this room here. Those Eminence drivers, whether if I get the Eminence or the PRV, they don't need a lot of power. They don't. The only thing that I ask is that they blend in well with the system that I have, because I know those Eminence, those 314s are amazing, And I know that those Kappa Pro 15s, those are just badass 15s. I hear them with Klipsch, I hear them with QSC, and they're just pretty much jaw dropping. Now I did want to get the Finamax 15s, but when I talked to Eminence, they were saying that there's really no difference between having the Kappas or the Finamax, only that the Finamax has a bit more power to them. Well, it's not really necessary in this room. I mean, I'm only running a CX302 to my left, center, and right, and if that's the case, then that's not really worth it. You know, it's not really a whole lot of power that's getting driven to them. The only thing that I care about that take a lot of power are my subwoofers. That's it. You know, as long as they're driven and they're driven with some fair power, which, you know, each subwoofer has its own dedicated channel like it should, then I'm pretty happy with that. Other than that, we're still going to have to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. So I don't know if I'm going to drop 3,000 on going back to the QSC DPA, the 4.2s, and then doing all my settings from there. And then, like I say, I would still have the microphone, so that'll definitely help me flatten those speakers out, and I should be able to get the, you know, damn near ruler flat. I'm gonna have to also talk to Eminence too about those waveguides that I have behind that screen, or, you know, if they think that I should use their waveguides that they have. They have some 1.4 inch exits. I think they're the H14 EAs. So I'd have to stick with those. If they feel like, hey, you should just, you know, get those horns. You know, this, like I say, a lot of shit's just up in the air right now. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do as far as waveguides, but I don't like the ones that are behind that screen. They don't sound pleasing at all with those Eminence drivers behind them. When the other ones were behind that screen, behind those waveguides, to me it did sound just a little bit better. Just the fact that they played a little bit deeper. But now that I have those Eminence drivers, I gotta do a three-way system. Again, I'm not happy with the sound in this room. So I would do the same crossover points that QSC does. The screen channel, the compression drivers, those will get crossed over probably at 16K. And then the 10-inch woofers, the mid-ranges will pick it up from there down to 250 hertz, and then the Kappa 15s will pick it up from there down to the lowest settings. I think I have it in the Onkyo to have the subwoofer set at like 60 hertz. So I don't know how well those things play down to as far as low end. But I will say that when the original Soundtown woofers were in those boxes, I did notice that the stock woofers did play a little bit deeper than the Eminences did. But so far, I'm noticing, as far as all the drivers that were switched out, the compression drivers in those cabinets was actually the biggest deal, not a deal breaker, but something that really made me happy. Those things sound incredible. And I was actually battling between the ASD 1001s or getting the newer version. Actually, I don't know what the hell the name of them is, but they're like $89 a piece. There was no way in hell I was going to drop that in this room. But I'm happy that I went with the ASD 1001s. They sound incredible. Pretty happy with them, so I'm not getting rid of those. The Beta 8s, I gotta say I'm pretty damn happy with them too. They sound awesome in this room. And I'm probably gonna go on ahead and just switch out the stock crossover that's in there and probably just order the 2500 hertz crossover that they have, those two-way crossovers, because those are actually designed to work with those woofers and those compression drivers, and that should really help the sound out with those So far, again, the surrounds definitely sound a lot cleaner than what they did. Now, for some reason, the Onkyo is showing that they're supposed to cross over at like 110 hertz in this room. I don't know what the fuck that's about, because before it would actually try to cross these speakers off at like 40 hertz, and I'd have to go back and reset it. Now, I didn't mind it being crossover at 40 hertz when we were at the apartment. We didn't have a subwoofer, so we were trying to squeeze out what we could. But now that, they're being used as the real purpose, which is cinema surrounds here in this room, I care more about what the hell's going on behind that screen. But the channel separation is not the greatest. But that'll get taken care of when we switch out the Onkyo for the next processor, whatever comes in this room. I'll definitely be happy when that comes. But so far, the Onkyo is still the champ of the room. Makes us happy, at least for right now. I'll really be happy when we get this microphone in here and I can get these speakers calibrated and then run the software that Onkyo has. But honestly, it sounds like shit. It does not do this room any justice at all. So I actually leave Accu EQ off for the most part. And Onkyo, you guys really need to work on your stuff, man. That Accu EQ shit, I don't mind it, but you got to make it better. If you guys are gonna take Odyssey away, do something better. If you're gonna take something like Odyssey away, because Odyssey was just much better. It sounded cleaner, and I don't know, guys. They have to work on that. If you own an Onkyo, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. But it could be due to the fact that I'm building my own speakers. I will admit, Accu EQ did okay when I just left everything alone and I was using, the stock shit at the apartment. That's when things sounded okay. So everything's going to be trial and error, but it's always going to sound better when you do aftermarket shit. So far, these SoundTown speakers sound much better with the Eminences in it. I can tell that those damn things were just born to be in there. So I was looking at the Beta 8s. I'm sorry, the Alpha 8s. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to step it up to the Beta 8s. So I'm glad I did. And then plus, the ones that were in there, they were rated at like 96 dB. So the ASD 1000 ones and the Beta 8s, those are an awesome mix. They sound fantastic. I'm going to give you guys a sound demo here in a little bit. I'll get everything fired up. Actually, this was something else I don't think I showed you guys. This is the 665, the Harmony remote from Logitech. And probably going to end up sending it back because I want to get the Harmony Elite. And that's because the Harmony Elite has 2 buttons for lights, smart lights, and 2 buttons for smart plugs, which up there you guys know that I have smart lights. And you guys also know that I've been talking about getting smart plugs for the amplifiers, so all I have to do is just, hit the buttons down here for the smart plugs, turn the amplifiers on, hit the buttons for the smart lights, and the smart lights on. So I know I can just buy the hub. The hub itself is like $100, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get the remote itself. Get up with the smart hub. With the smart hub, you download the Harmony app to your phone, and then it has IR blasters, and you put the IR blaster on the front of your components. So far, for sure, I know that I will be getting the Panasonic UB. I was looking at the 420, but I'm going to and step it up to the 820 because that one has the HDR optimizer. That'll definitely help out with the Vivitech projector. And then once I do that, I'm going to actually have a tech come out here to the house and come calibrate the projector. But something else I've really been thinking about, guys, is just having somebody, like, once I get the the three-way system set up. If I do leave the Behringer alone, I'm going ahead and get a second one. And then I'm probably going to just go ahead and have a professional come on out to the house and just calibrate the fucking system for me. You know, because I can learn from these guys. They can show me what the hell I need to do. And I'm also part of the Facebook group for Eminence. I'm part of the Facebook group for anything home theater. You know, these guys talk a lot about that shit. So I know I feel pretty confident with the woofers that I chose and with the compression drivers. But again, if I were to do it again, those lace drivers, they'd still be sitting up there to this day. But so far, these things are pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I feel pretty happy with them. I still need to get a light for behind here, just so that way I can shoot it down, and also that'll help get rid of these cardboard boxes. Those things will be going away too. Plus they're flexing too because, oh shit, I'm tired right now. They're not designed to hold 75 pounds worth of speakers on top. So it's just trying to work with the budget, you know. I should have just, I was a dumbass. I should have just went on ahead and just added the 3 extra 15s because I knew for damn sure that eventually I'd be stepping it up. I was just trying to keep it simple, but definitely want to get the extra 15s. That'll definitely help out on vocals and just help out on impacts, but the mid-ranges for sure. And you know, having the 615s, 3 10-inch mid-ranges, and 3 compression drivers, man, it's going to sound awesome in this room. But, you know, I just got to have somebody over here that knows better on what the fuck they're doing. Somebody that's more educated than I am, because I know what I'm doing to a certain point. But I'm definitely not a smart ass when it comes to this kind of stuff. Plus, it's fun to learn new shit, you know? But let's go on ahead. Let's get this stuff fired up. Not going to play anything bass heavy. Not tonight because I don't feel like hearing it. And I went on ahead, even though, yes, this is a 70-volt amplifier, the CX108. I went on ahead and just plugged it up to the speakers. And it didn't fry them or anything like that, because I did reach out to the guys, to QSC. They were like, they don't recommend it, but they said if you wanted to, you can do it. To go on ahead and plug those speakers up to that 70-volt amplifier. And I've talked to a few guys that are a part of the QSC Facebook group, the official group that they have for their amplifiers, and talked to them. They said, yeah, go on ahead and do it. So far, it runs just fine. Now, I will say this, I'm going to have to get the 8-pin Phoenix connectors, because when they sent me that amplifier, I didn't have any. So I went to Skycraft. Unfortunately, they only had a 6-pin connector. So what that means is 3 of my surrounds are plugged up to that QSC 8-channel amplifier, while 1 is still plugged up into the back of the receiver. Luckily, there's no difference between the sound in the receiver and the QSC amplifier. So that just means Onkyo has some very clean sounding amps. But eventually I will be moving that channel down into the other amplifier, and we'll have to see later on in the future if I do end up using the stock speakers that were in here and using those for Dolby Atmos. And again, it's all up in the air. But I do have to have speakers with fairly high sensitivity that's going to keep up with these, because if that's not the case, you know, then I'm still kind of eyeballing the OSD Audio, the AP670s, and using them up here in my ceiling. use a pair a little bit closer to here, and probably 3 feet away from the screen, because once we get the other sofa and the other love seat, those are going to be going right here, and again, those are going to be going up on bed risers. It'll cover the front seats pretty well, and it'll also sound really good back here in the back. The only thing that's driving me away from those speakers is the fact that they use a silver cone. Well, using a projector, you have to think, even though they will have black boxes, but the cones are silver, it's going to be a lot of reflections from the light heading out of the projector, and possibly the LED strip lights as well. So, and I'm not going to buy them and spray paint the woofers black. I'm not doing that shit. So what I'm thinking is I might go ahead and step it up to the AP850s and using those as my surround speakers. So the thing that's perfect about those is they're in a molded enclosure, especially hanging them up in the ceiling, because it's not a lot of stress or a lot of weight on the ceiling. And plus it's an 8-inch woofer, so that'll definitely balance better with my surround speakers, because I use 8-inch speakers on those. So I was even looking at just going ahead and just buying an extra pair of these speakers here, doing actually 2 pairs, and then just going up in the ceiling with them, just so that way you can keep them matched. But I don't think I have to get that crazy with it, and plus it'll save me at least $100. So I might be able to catch a really good deal on those if I do wait until Black Friday. But guys, I'm kind of getting impatient. Like, if you can see it right here, I already got Plex up. So I'd rather go ahead and get Dolby Atmos before I do get the other Blu-ray player. And then what we'll do is we're going ahead and get it mounted in the rack. A new rack is somewhere in the near future. I just got to see where I can pick one up at. So I kind of want to get one with a glass door. That would be kind of nice, but if I don't, then that's fine too. But what I was thinking was, if I do the 8-foot rack, what I can do is go ahead and move the rack and put the rack right here, do the 8-foot tall rack. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the hell? I don't know if that's a projector issue or the HDMI. That was kind of odd. But what I would do is go on ahead and make like a hole in the rack itself, and put the projector in it, and then use like a sheet of glass on the front, or plexiglass or something, and that'll help keep from dust building on the inside of it. The projector would be semi-sealed, but if I do an 8-foot tall rack with the projector inside, I have to use something with vents. So that'll for sure help keep dust from just getting on it and getting into it. But so far, guys, again, I'm pretty happy with the setup. I got to get the sound right with these speakers behind the screen. But let's see. Actually, that's the Behringer software there for the DCX2496. And that's something else, guys. I wish Behringer would work on that, because that shit is so outdated. It really is. So I'm starving. I need to eat something. All right, guys. Let's do Mad Max Fury Road. Close that out. Turn the subwoofers on. You know, the funny thing is, guys, I will be honest with y'all. I promised myself I'd never buy another Behringer amplifier again because the last amplifier that I bought was a huge mistake and it did not run properly at all. Let's turn this off.
My name is Max.
Ah.
My world is fire and blood.
Oh, I gotta love my Dell PC. So far, this thing, for some reason, if you leave it on and the receiver, turn it on and off, my vocals will start coming out of the speaker back here in the back. So I have to sometimes just restart the computer, and that'll help put everything back in its proper place. And then something else I'm looking at getting too, guys. I've been talking to John and Dana. I need to buy their second gimbal from them. He's trying to sell it to me for like $75, which ain't shit. So I'll be getting that next month. We'll be getting a new tripod, and I might end up taking my girl's Mark II camera that she has, the Canon, and start doing videos on that, and try to get into editing and trying to do more professional videos for you guys. Also, I've been looking at getting external microphones and getting like a Zoom audio recorder, just so that way when I upload these videos, you guys are getting a little bit closer to kind of what it sounds like in this room. But it also depends on how you guys play my videos back. You know, the best way to do it is either buy headphones or a really good sound system with an awesome subwoofer that plays down deep. And I'm using commercial subwoofers, but guys, I'm getting below 20 hertz easy in this room, and they do it with ease. The only thing I have set up to them by ear, I just did just a 6 dB boost on both subwoofers at 20 hertz. And that's plenty for me. Anything more than that, it's just getting a little bizarre, or just a little bit out of hand. You know, even though I do have these dual 15s, and that's one hell of an amp to drive on these subs, you know, the only thing I just ask is for it to sound clean. That's all I need. Wow, guys, I've been doing this shit for an hour now. No wonder I'm starving. But Eminence, you guys are really kind of getting my attention. I will be honest with you guys, because I am a huge La Voce guy, and I love BNC speakers. But I don't know what the things that the Eminence is doing right now with the tour grade stuff. It's really calling me. So I might get in touch with Eminence, because they have a carbon fiber diaphragm now for the same compression driver. It's the 314 X, I believe is what it's called. Hey Google, turn off theater lights. Hey Google, turn off theater lights.
Okay, turn the 2 lights off.
Alright, let's see if we're still, yep, set up for 7.1. Oh wow, this movie is only for 5.1. Very, very interesting. You know what? I'd rather go to my Dolby Atmos demos. It'll really help out when I have that gimbal because sometimes I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't pay attention to this phone. This shit is wobbling like crazy. It just sucks that my other gimbal messed up on me. Come on. That's something else I want to get is a new home theater PC, but kind of have to do things in steps, so that's why I'm not too embarrassed even though the theater doesn't look the greatest. I can show everything off. Not be too embarrassed. There we go.
We are here.
And it's up to speed. This is the way.
You got it, Sam?
Roger.
Hit this one, drinks are on me.
I ain't going to a bar with you, Hanson. You confuse all the broads. Get your cameras, boys. I'm gonna light it up like Christmas.
Bombardier, your ship.
Bombardier the pilot, Roger. Bombardier the crew, Bombay doors open. Bay doors open! Crap.
So it doesn't sound too bad behind the screen, but definitely needs a little bit of work. But really? But yeah, these are all my Dolby Atmos videos. But yeah, guys, it needs a little bit of work behind the screen, but doesn't sound too bad. But I noticed earlier. Okay, I did talk about channel separation. Actually, it sounds really good in this room as far as channel separation, so that's not really too big of a concern. But I do know that when you go to an actual preamp, you do get far better channel separation, and there's better sound overall. But so far, these speakers are incredible. I really do love what I hear out of them. So we'll make upgrades as we go, but it's just, again, doing things on a budget. You know, I don't have all the money in the world. I don't have $10,000 in my bank account, and if I did, that'd be freaking awesome. But we'd actually be buying a house. Damn sure wouldn't be this one. But I just hope and pray to God that the next house we move into, you know, I got a room that's this big. You know, here we got 9-foot ceilings. It's about, I think, it's actually 18 feet from here to the back wall. And I haven't measured the width of the room. So we'll do that sometime in the near future. But this stuff here is definitely a must. This fleece stuff. And Joann's has definitely helped out a lot. So just want to add a little bit more and then just go across here, and we're still gonna add it here, and probably go to about, I don't know, maybe foot and a half from the a foot and a half, probably 2 feet from the screen, and it'll look a lot better. The presentation will be a lot better as you're sitting at the couch. I need to put something here, like I want like a pretty cool poster, and then we'll put like a light up here, and it'll show down on the poster. Or I've even thought about doing like a digital screen maybe here, and let Plex run that. I've also thought about even putting the screen possibly here, and then what that'll do is that'll show show times, the movie that's running. Another thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get it, and that's going to be, if we get the 8-foot tall rack, it's going to be a display screen that's inside the rack, and then what's going to happen is coming out of the Onkyo and then the processor, that'll be the second display. And that'll, you know, show the monitoring of the amplifiers. It'll pretty much show the whole network up online. You know, should anything fail, it'll all come up on the monitor. And then, you know, that'll really help me out a lot, so that I don't have to always fire this projector up. You know, doing like little demos like that, I don't always want to fire the projector up just to show things off. But actually, I kind of want to watch a little bit of TV, you know, grab a bite to eat and just chill. But guys, it is definitely awesome. I highly, highly, highly recommend. If you got the money, guys, you don't have to go all out like I did. Like, I like using pro audio stuff. It just catches my ears a lot better than it does home theater stuff. I've used, you know, higher-end Klipsch home theater speakers and just never been happy. So now maybe if I use I did use the KPT 200 cinema surrounds. Those I was very, very happy with. I got rid of them because I didn't want to use a big ass 12-inch woofer for surrounds. I think that's just a little bit too big. I think either 8s or 10s, I think that's just fine. Actually, I might end up building my own 10-inch cinema surrounds later on down the road. Or hey, if I get a badass job, I can go on ahead and just get some JTRs and be done with it. But I don't know, I like building my own stuff, guys. It's just pride and joy. I feel happier and more confident, you know, but it's learning process, and just not only does it take a lot of your money, but it takes a lot of time. And shit, when it boiled down to it all, I was looking at getting the E-Series from QSC, you know, just dropping 3,000 on those. But if I'm dropping 3,000, I think I'd rather have more amplifiers, more speakers. I want to learn this stuff. Virus and threat protection, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? But, alright guys, I'm going ahead and end it right here. This video is already an hour and 6 minutes long, but, you know, we'll definitely, you know, for the time being, until we get back into Disney, this is where I'll be at every day. Just BSing in here and hopefully making content that helps you guys out. I did promise somebody that I was going to talk about this rack here and talk about, you know, the processing and the amplifiers. We'll get down to it, I promise. You know, well, actually, I'll end up doing that tomorrow. So, all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.